If your car breaks tomorrow and it's $800, what's your plan? That's why you need an emergency fund. In minutes, what it is, how much to save, 3 to 6 months, and where to keep it, high yield and liquid. What happens if your car breaks down tomorrow and the repair costs $800? What if you lose your job or need to move out suddenly? Most people have no financial cushion, and when emergencies hit, they're forced to go into credit card debt or borrow money. That's why every financial expert will tell you the same thing. You need an emergency fund. But what exactly is it? How much should you save? And where should you keep it? Let's break it down. An emergency fund is a dedicated savings account that holds money reserved exclusively for unexpected expenses or financial emergencies. This is not money for vacations, new shoes, or upgrading your phone. It's money that sits untouched unless something urgent and unplanned happens, like a medical bill, car repair, job loss, or housing emergency. The purpose of an emergency fund is to prevent you from going into debt when life gets unpredictable. Here's how it works. Financial experts generally recommend saving 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses in your emergency fund. Essential expenses include rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, and minimum debt payments. If you're a teenager still living at home, your emergency fund might be smaller because your expenses are lower. If you're an adult living independently, you'll need more. To calculate your target, add up all your monthly essential expenses and multiply by 3 for a minimum fund, or by 6 for a stronger safety net. For example, if your essential monthly expenses are $1,500, your emergency fund goal would be between $4,500 and $9,000. The money should be kept in a high-yield savings account, which is a type of savings account that earns more interest than a regular savings account, typically between 4 and 5% annually. As of recent years, the key is that the money needs to be liquid, meaning you can access it quickly without penalties. But it shouldn't be so easy to access that you're tempted to spend it on non-emergencies. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine a 19-year-old working full-time and living in a shared apartment. Their monthly expenses include $400 for rent, $150 for groceries, $100 for car insurance, $50 for a phone bill, and $100 for gas and transportation. That's $800 per month in essential expenses. Using the 3-month rule, they should aim to save $2,400 in their emergency fund. If they save $200 per month, they'll reach that goal in 12 months. Once the fund is fully built, they can redirect that $200 toward investing or other financial goals. The benefit of having an emergency fund is financial security and freedom from stress. When an unexpected expense occurs, you simply transfer money from your emergency fund, handle the problem, and then gradually rebuild the fund. You don't panic, you don't go into debt, and you don't have to ask family or friends for help. Studies show that people with emergency savings report lower stress levels and better overall financial health. The danger of not having an emergency fund is that every financial setback becomes a crisis. A $400 car repair could force you to put it on a credit card and pay 18% interest for months. A sudden job loss could mean missing rent and facing eviction. According to a survey by the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing or selling something. That's a position you don't want to be in. Here's your actionable takeaway. Open a separate high-yield savings account today and label it Emergency Fund. Set up an automatic transfer of even 10, 20, or $50 per paycheck into that account. Start small if you need to, but start now. If you already have some savings, evaluate whether it's enough to cover 3 months of your essential expenses. If not, make building your emergency fund your top financial priority before focusing on investing or discretionary spending. This single account will give you a foundation of financial stability that most people your age do not have. This is not financial advice, only education. Do your own research and consult a professional before making any financial decisions. How much do you have in your emergency fund right now? Drop a number in the comments, and don't forget to watch our next video on the best high-yield savings accounts for young adults. Quick recap: an emergency fund is for real emergencies only. Aim for 3 to 6 months of essentials. Keep it in a high-yield savings account and set an auto transfer, even $10 to $50 per paycheck. Drop your number in the comments. This video is for education only, not financial advice. Always do your own research. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.